What's going on, main characters? It's your boy Talks Too Much with Third Party Studios, and welcome back to the channel. Well, Amazon's finally done it. They have put another notch in their belt and claimed another franchise for their own. James Bond, our own 007, now has the creative control of the IP going to Amazon. We've seen what they've done with other famous IPs and franchises, so we're going to have to just hold our breath and see what happens for this one. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about that and much more in this video. So with all of that out of the way, let's jump into it. Hold on, intro. It's intro time. Shush, everyone shut up! Yeah, let's jump into our first story of the day, and it's a big one. So the news comes from from That Park Place. Amazon wrestles control of James Bond away from the Broccoli family as Jeff Bezos asks Instagram who the next 007 should be. So we got to talk okay.
First off,
go ahead.
should we refer to them as the broccoli? Because saying broccoli just feels weird to me.
Well, I mean, which is correct? Which is the
Everyone's been saying broccoli.
I don't have. I mean, I'm not saying it disparagingly. It's spelt broccoli.
I like broccoli.
I don't. Yeah, it's like if people called me Talks to Moonch, I wouldn't like give them a hard time over it. It'd be
I don't know.
cool. But fine, we'll call them broccoli, and
We'll call them broccoli.
and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
And if they have a problem with it, they can put out a press statement or something.
You're gonna get sued for defamation.
Defamation
It's
of
broccoli, bitch.
broccoli, the broccoli family. I mean, you can't have mobsters with that name.
It's just weird saying broccoli sold 007 to Amazon. It's like, what is this, VeggieTales?
Well, so yeah, we should actually probably get into a bit of the history with that. So, the MGM Studios has had, my understanding is that MGM Studios has had ownership of 007 for a while, but the contract gives creative control to the Broccoli family, to the Broccoli. Yeah, so they have retained creative control over the James Bond universe, but MGM has the rights to the productions and to the IP.
Amazon owns MGM now. So.
Yes. Yep. So in the article, in a move that sent shockwaves through Hollywood, Amazon MGM Studios has officially taken creative control over iconic James Bond franchise. For decades, the world's most famous spy was carefully shepherded by longtime producers Barbara Broccoli, Michael G. Wilson. Now that era has come to an end as the franchise falls into the hands of Amazon, the same company that notoriously mishandled Lord of the Rings with the controversial Rings of Power series. There's nothing controversial about it. There's nothing controversial about it. Rings of Power is objectively trash. They lost a huge portion of their audience on the pilot of the series, and from season 1 to season 2 they lost an additional 60% of the remaining audience they had left.
It was actually more than that, but
yeah, it's something like closer.
It was like 63, 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, this studio is going, James Bond is dead. This whole project is scrapped.
Oh, you know they're gonna treat it like any other franchise. Like we got Ballerina coming out, and it's from the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna come up with a bunch of shows like from the world of 007.
Yep.
Here's this bitch.
006, 008.
Yeah.
All the spin-off shows. They're gonna have a
It's
origin
not gonna
story.
be a movie every few years or so. It's gonna be TV series that suck.
Well, and Barbara Broccoli actually is accredited with holding Amazon's feet to the fire on like these projects, because Amazon executives keep coming up with, hey, let's do a spin-off show, let's do something else, let's recast, let's do this. And Barbara has put her foot down, and she's quoted by saying, "Have you read the contract?" And
it's we do movies, and James Bond is English.
Exactly. Which he doesn't have to be English. I would think an American would be better. But don't worry,
American can play a better British spy.
There'll be a state soon. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, that'll be the 50 cent.
We don't want your giant rock. We don't.
After we annex England or Canada.
Yeah. We got a few first, but
we got a continent to conquer first.
We got things to do, man. But yeah, exactly. So obviously she let the reins slip with this recent project where they had to race and gender swap like James Bond in the No Time to Die, and you had Daniel Craig literally being nuked and being literally bombed.
I honestly don't know anything about the last movie of Daniel Craig's James
No
Bond.
Time to Die.
I didn't watch it, and very few people talked about it.
Let me just break it. I mean,
I know what's her face is in it.
So let me just give that movie let me say where it was good real quick. I did think that Daniel Craig played James Bond well. I thought the acting was good. I love the villain. It's the same actor who plays Freddie Mercury in the Queen biopic
Oh, I'm
movie.
not a fan of that actor. Actually.
You don't like him? I
No.
loved him in
Rami Malek.
yeah. I
Not a
loved him
fan.
in Mr. Robot. I thought I think he's good over generally speaking, but or at least he's casting good stuff. But yeah, he played the villain. I thought he did a good job in it. I felt
He is playing that new movie that's coming out where he works for the CIA, but he's like a tech
Intelligence,
Guy.
yeah.
Yeah. That actually looks pretty good.
that looks great. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see a spy who's not actually like a karate badass, but actually just like a dangerous kind of you're mentally breaking psychopath kind of character who's just a super genius.
I know shit and I drink.
Well, that's kind of like Taken, except Taken was like he's brilliant and super smart, but also still like a super spy where he's just a badass kicking.
Yeah, a 60-year-old Irishman just kicking people's asses.
I love Liam Neeson.
I like how we made him into an
Thank
action
God for you,
hero.
Liam Neeson.
We made him into an action hero in his 50s.
Hell yeah.
Because he's got to be down near 70 now.
He's an ancient. Yeah, he's ancient. I think his most intimidating role he ever played was that shopper at the grocery store in Ted. That was my favorite role. I'm to understand these tricks are
That's
exclusively for kids.
That's a weird friendship. Seth MacFarlane and
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. He's also in A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah, I mean, it probably just has some fun with it. Can you imagine being super serious? Like he's got to be dying laughing as soon as they yell cut. He's got to. I never met Liam Neeson. Don't know anything about him personally, but I assume someone who's that serious in roles is actually freaking hilarious. You know how Anthony Jeselnik, the comedian, he plays like this really dark asshole on stage, like with his comedy, but then he goes on Joe Rogan. He's like super soft and doesn't like that kind of comedy. And I'm just like, what the hell?
He's changed.
Yeah. You've changed.
His ego has gotten way too big.
Oh yeah. I mean, famous person. It's
Yeah,
like that-
true.
The kind of just tracks. But the
I'm the best.
so we've got decades of James Bond being under the family's ownership and being shepherded and stewarded. And I would say that the franchise has earned its place in history as one of the biggest and greatest franchises of all time. You probably would have a hard time making the case that every one of the movies was financially successful and James Bond's as popular as, say, like Star Wars, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for 60 years and they've made a fuckload of movies.
Yeah. So I mean, it's long running, it's huge, but
it's huge.
it's huge. But
they're trying to replace James Bond. And
Well-
there's been a few attempts to make it a chick.
yep. Well, Daniel Craig was literally bombed, and assuming that they didn't like explode him on screen and then have some sort of weird thing where he took a super pill and then he survives explosions, so that he comes back. It's like, oh,
Dude, he's been out for a long time. He had a 3-movie contract to play Bond.
and he
It was
wanted out.
It was supposed to end at Skyfall, but he just kept on going. And he's like, he fucking hates this character and hates
Mhm.
playing it.
I can imagine. I mean, I think Daniel Craig is probably an underutilized actor, generally speaking. I think he probably could do more. I don't know if he's just got typecasted and stuck in James Bond or what happened, but he does. He's been
Oh.
pretty honest about not liking James Bond as a role.
Yeah, so the reason why he kept doing it after Skyfall is because Skyfall grossed $1.4 billion.
Whew.
And
Woo-wee.
everything else barely even came close.
Yeah, that tracks. Casino Royale, I don't think made a lot of money. If it made money, I don't think it made a lot of money, even though it's honestly, I think the one I like the most.
Everyone loves Casino Royale, and
Yeah.
then everyone's kind of wishy-washy on the rest. But adjusted for inflation, Casino Royale made about $119
Oh.
million.
Yeah, that's not much.
And then Quantum of Solace, which no one gave a fuck about, that was the worst one.
Right.
It still made about 800.
800 million?
Yeah,
Okay. That's fine. I think you could, that's money.
that's money.
I'll take that.
Just looking at these inflation numbers is weird.
I would love to know how No Time to Die went, because in 2021, you're talking COVID, you're talking Hollywood, like chaos, nothing in theaters, people starving for good action films, and then your James Bond hits the screens, and you're like Daniel Craig. Everyone like thinks that Daniel Craig is the James Bond for this age, so it's like I'm curious to know how No Time to Die performed monetarily.
$771 million.
So less than Quantum Solace
Yes.
at 800 something.
Adjusted for inflation again, it kind of. This is only 3 years ago, and if you're adjusting for inflation, it almost adds $100 million on it because of the inflation of the past 4 years.
Yep. We're getting political. No, I'm just kidding.
It's fucking. That's what's so weird about looking at the
adjusted numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre. But but yeah, I was curious to know how it performed. Now okay, so in No Time to Die, I thought the acting was good overall. I thought everything was pretty fine. And then I thought the story was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. I thought this action sequences were very James Bond. I felt like I was watching a traditional James Bond film when watching it. So I thought they were on the right track. The things that obviously stood out to me as a problem were the race swap, gender swapped, boss bitch, James Bond, the new James Bond. They had the meme in there where the person in charge is like 007, and they both look at her, and I'm just like, God damn it, stop fucking being stupid. And so they did it anyway. So yeah, Daniel Craig's character's killed off, so it's moot.
Yeah, she was actually supposed to become the next James Bond. It was supposed to roll off, and
everyone, I think even normies hated her because she was annoying as shit in that movie.
What the fuck is her name?
Friendly reminder, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. It is free. It's the best way to show your support and to help us grow. You can also always change your mind later. And if you haven't already, smash that like button to help us reach further out into that YouTube algorithm. Comment your thoughts on the video so far below. And if you haven't already, go check out the merch store. Links in the description. Got a lot of cool stuff in there. I think you guys are really going to enjoy. With that out of the way, let's get back to the video.
Oh, Lashana Lynch.
She was annoying. Her character was absolutely ridiculously just bitchy for no fucking reason.
She's got caterpillars sitting over her eyes, man.
Jesus.
Looking at her pictures, eyebrows. Bam.
Oh, man. No, I hope that honestly, I don't care about the James Bond universe in the sense of like it's a franchise I want to preserve desperately. Like I feel far more impassioned about like Lord of the Rings, which Amazon already has their grubs on, Warhammer 40K, which Amazon already has their grubs on, smaller projects like
which Amazon already has their grubs on.
Yeah, Invincible, Has Been Hotels, and like more so an indie project considering its source and its origin. Yeah, so Amazon has their hands on a lot of things. Halo is dead. Star Wars dying. You know, you have this conversation with people about Warhammer 40K when the female Custodes retcon came out, and they were like, "Why do you care?" It's like, dude, why don't you care? It's like, how many different franchises have to completely die before you give a shit about what happens to yours?
I care because my daily life I don't care about.
Exactly. I'm just like, dude, normies, you're gonna find out that you're gonna look online for a new movie, show, game, collectible comic, trading card, whatever it is of the franchise you've loved your whole life, and you're gonna be like, dude, all of these suck. You're gonna hit that wall someday. And there's nothing in the market replacing these. I mean, you could have made the case 5-10 years ago that John Wick could eventually become big. But now you're like, Keanu Reeves is gone. There's no more star power in that movie anymore. The actor who plays the Continental Manager, I mean, he's not really, he's not enough to carry that franchise alone. And he's not even
dead.
Did he? Oh, I'm sorry. In Ballerina, they do a back.
Yeah.
They go back in time. So I saw him again, and that skipped a second for me. But you get my point, is that even the shows that have potential are being killed off by these major studios. So the fact that Amazon's had power with James Bond for a while, but I mean, they never had creative control over it.
Yeah. I mean, they've been trying to recast him for a while now. And now Bezos puts out a poll or whatever, and you just see Henry Cavill in the comments. Everyone wants Henry Cavill. Yeah. My actual pick, though, would be Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Well, and so Elon Musk parody on X did the same thing.
Right.
And so the question is, who should play the next James Bond? To be completely honest, Idris Elba, that guy. I don't even know. I can't even think of anything that guy's been in. John Boyega, Michael B. Jordan, that guy, Cillian Murphy, Tom Holland, Chris Hemsworth, and Michael Fassbender and Tom Hardy. I don't think I think Tom Hardy has the acting skills to pull it off. I don't think he looks anything
He's
like a
not,
James
I
Bond.
don't want to say he's suave. He's more gruff.
Yeah. I actually really like, and here's my take on this. I really think that you could have a 007, not a James Bond, but a 007 from Idris Elba or Michael B. Jordan. I would actually be kind of interested in seeing either of them do it. I don't think Cillian Murphy would be someone I'd want to see do it. Maybe Hemsworth. Tom Holland, no.
But I want him to do it with a hardcore Australian accent.
Yeah.
Hemsworth.
Yeah, be cast from...
Oh, I love.
He's a criminal. We can't be 007.
Take a martini.
He's from the island. I love his interview where it's an interview where he's having a conversation with one of his co-stars or something in one of his movies, and they're talking about how Australian is like the sexiest accent. Like, oh yeah, or for down under, babe.
You like that, love?
It's all so funny. I mean, anyone on this list that pulls for you? I mean, who do you think is?
My pick is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is not on this list.
Yeah,
just tell me.
This list sucks.
Well, okay. Let me just pull up Aaron Taylor. What's his name then? Spell it. Is it
Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Well, I don't know if it's spelled.
Aaron.
I mean, there's different variants to spelling Aaron. Okay, I see what you're going for.
Like he was in Bullet Train.
I liked
he played that like real Brit guy in Bullet Train. Or that dude to his right from the Gentleman TV show on Netflix. He's good too.
He's good. I think he could do a good job. Honestly, you're right. I think either of these guys could do a good job. I think what you want from a
because you can't cast Henry Cavill in everything.
No, I agree. And honestly, we need Henry Cavill 100% focused on holding Amazon accountable to Warhammer 40K.
Henry Cavill actually did audition back in like 2004 for James Bond.
I think he would have been. I mean,
he would have been like 21 at the time. He was very young.
Well, I mean, we all know he could do it. He was in Argyle, and that's sort of like what the character was loosely based on. Visually.
Argyle.
I didn't say it was a good movie. I'm just saying that's what he looked.
Did you watch that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I think he's only in it for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's like reference points. It's like basically you're just getting snapshots and small moments with him in it. But
I think the cat has more screen time than he does.
Well, it's a cat, dude.
A cat in a backpack. Who's not gonna love it?
I don't know. This guy feels kind of I wouldn't really like him. I don't think I'd like either of these guys for it. I mean, they kind of feel very Hollywood douchey / like boy bandish kind of good looking. Not like actual.
That's the point of 007. You're supposed to be a good looking dude.
Yeah, but he's also
take the women.
He's
shoot
also
the bad guys.
I don't want someone who looks like they just graduated from high school and have been in One Direction. Like I don't want anyone who playing 007 who looks like they came from One Direction.
You're supposed to kiss hands and shake babies, you know?
Like there's like a masculine good looking and then there's a feminine like good looking for men.
Well,
like,
that's what most of this list is effeminate men.
I don't think Chris Hemsworth is that at all.
No, he's not.
I don't think Idris Elba or Michael B. Jordan. Maybe Michael B. Jordan you could make a case for, but I still don't agree. I don't think he looks that way at all. So
why is Daniel Kaluuya on this when he's been in like 2 movies?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, his roles are actually incredibly insignificant.
I mean, he was good in both of them. He's in Get Out and
well,
what's that other one?
He played the traitor in Black Panther.
No, Michael B. What?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did he?
Well, so it was like
I didn't watch that one.
He was like
give a shit about that movie.
He's like one of the council members or like one of the leaders of one of the families or something. Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, like in the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's not in. I mean, he basically joins with Warmonger to, like, he betrays T'Challa to join Warmonger. So, yeah, that was the role he played. Again, completely insignificant. I think out of this list, I like Chris Hemsworth for it. I like Idris Elba and Michael B. Jordan. Please just don't say that they're James Bond. Like, just 007, come up with a new badass character name, and like just make a continuation of the 007 position.
It's just AI Sean Connery back into the movies.
Dude,
and he
please.
slaps women all the time.
When it comes to the AI/CGI conversation, my favorite conversation about it was the guy from Ghostbusters who passed away, and then they were talking about doing a new Ghostbusters movie, and they were like, we can make a CGI ghost of him come back to the movie and say hi. I'm like, dude, please? That would be so fucking funny. I would love that. Maybe it's a little dark, but I think it'd be hilarious.
We own your image.
We are
Perpetually.
forever, even if you're
in perpetuity.
especially if you're dead. So Henry Cavill
You can't die.
Henry Cavill got some fan picks. We got, you guys know my thoughts on the list here. We got Cody's position or Cody's point on it, and I just think this guy looks One Direction-y, and I think you could put him in a suit and give him a martini shaken, not stirred.
I've never
and then-
seen one of those One Direction queers with a beard before, though.
I don't know.
The beard makes a difference.
If you say so. I mean, I don't think so, but maybe. Bitch, it might though.
Whatever.
Was he the actor in Kick-Ass? Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. I didn't
He's
really.
been in a lot of shit.
I did not care about Kick-Ass.
He was in Craven. You know that movie that came out earlier?
The one that flopped
That
super hard.
No one went to see?
Yeah. So he has star power.
Yeah, plenty of star power. I think it's mostly based off of his performance in Bullet Train that people are asking for, Aaron.
I think that's a fair argument. He played British well. He played guy in a suit fighting, or he can obviously do TV fighting well. Yeah, I thought he did well overall in Bullet Train.
All we know, though, is whoever they pick to be the next Bond will disappoint everyone.
True. I think that's true. I think the more important thing is that the franchise is going to die because they're going to do TV. Now they're going to be, so this is what, man, we can't end the story yet. We got to talk about how the fact that Amazon has been petitioning to do television shows, spin-offs, all these other sub projects, not just movies, which is what the Broccoli family was hard stuck on. Said, you are just going to make movies.
Those damn broccolis, man.
Yep, you are not going to make a TV show. You're not going to make a spin-off. We're doing James Bond as a film, and we're going to do it right, or as good as possible. And now that that's out of the way, Amazon, the doors are open for them to do their spin-offs, their TV shows, their other characters, their origin stories, everything they've wanted to, and make the James Bond universe. That's what you guys, the audience, we are going to see. That is what's coming next. James Bond in theaters it's going to be rare relative to all the other material they're going to start pumping out. It's going to be turn on the pipes and watch the sewage flow.
Yeah, I think streaming kind of killed all franchises, to be honest.
Can you imagine? Like, I didn't see that coming. I think you're right, actually. I think that the streaming wars are now just a battle for how much unique content we have on our platforms, not the quality of what's on our platforms anymore.
Yeah, it's basically everyone's like fighting over which cable company is going to be in everyone's homes.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It is insanely frustrating. I think you are 100% correct, because the motivation now because the streaming studios are the ones buying up the IPs, not necessarily like an independent production company that wants to put out a movie in theaters. So yeah,
well, yeah, and then all those production companies are basically owned by these streaming services.
Yeah, I mean,
streaming got popular because it was cheap and you could just do it digitally. It had your shows on there. Cool. But now you gotta subscribe to like 5 different fucking streaming services, and it's just as much as having like cable or direct TV.
But the quality of your content is significantly worse. You can't even find decent content on one of the
everything's
platforms
licensed
now.
out. Yeah. It's like, oh, you want to watch this show? Sorry, it's on Hulu. But in order to get Hulu, you also have to get Disney Plus
And ESPN, ABC, Nat Geo, all the
We're
nonsense.
channel bundling again.
Which, yeah, we're channel. It all circled back. We just had cable with extra steps. It's just.
Oh my god, it's so good.
All right.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.